Hey there, welcome to my channel. I'm here to help you find your best health by using astrology and other healing methods because true health is a mind, body, soul connection. So today is February 10th, 2026, and I was just going to be talking not so much about astrology today, but just a topic that has been on my mind for a minute now, and that is being busy or like busyness. And I truly feel like busyness really affects our ability to live in the moment. And it's because, if we're always constantly doing something or we just can't help like not sitting down and just enjoying something. We have to be on our phones or, oh, I have a chore to get done. Let me just get up and do it. And not saying that those things, like especially chores, of course they have to happen, but it's just the fact that we can't sit down and just sit with ourselves a lot of the time. And I have met a few people who, like, they kind of wear busyness like a badge of honor. Uh, you know, like, oh, I can't sit down. I have to get up and do something. And, I think we're all guilty of it. I certainly am. But it's just something that, in my life I've been learning more to do or not to do is to just sit down, enjoy the moment. If someone's talking to me, to just sit there and really listen to them. Or if I'm watching a show on the TV, I'm not, grabbing my phone and, watching something on that while I'm watching the TV. um, so I just wanted to share just an example. Um, at work, we have to do uh, like floats, like parade floats every now and then, mostly for Christmas. But this last time, I was working with a coworker to work on the float, and she's a really sweet girl and she's very creative. But she was making me laugh this last time we were working on it because one of the big things she was like, so Jennifer, like I'm always busy. I have to stay busy. Like that's my thing. I can't sit down. I always have to be doing something. And I was like, "Oh, is that right?" And I think she's just her energy and my energy were like, we get along, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't mesh too well because I in the past I have worked like very fast or I had to get things done really quickly. And as I've gotten older and as I've worked more on myself and everything, I tend to work slower now, just because I like to enjoy the moments of things. And so I think she was kind of like trying to hint at me like work a little faster, which in the end I didn't. Like, it is what it is. But it's just one thing that I've noticed some people wear busyness as a badge and a badge of honor. And I just remember that moment when she was just like, I always had to be doing something. Or even like my boyfriend's mom, like sometimes she'll come and take care of our son, and if I come home from lunch from work or something, she's just around cleaning everything, and she'll be like, I can't sit still. I have to be doing something. I just feel like I'm not, useful if I'm not doing something. And so, sometimes I wonder, like, not her in general, but like, why are we like this as a society? Is it like undiagnosed ADHD? Is it just the fact that somehow we've been trained to um, be busy all the time? And that's nothing against anybody. Like I said, I'm guilty of it as well. I sometimes I feel like I need to be doing something. And here's the astrology part. So like if you're an air sign, especially like Gemini, Gemini sun, moon, or rising, like and I'm a Gemini moon. This is why I say this is like we always have to be like doing something with our hands, or but sometimes I use that like if I'm doing a hobby like knitting or something, I use it as a meditative practice. But if you're not doing it that way, you're just like I have to constantly be doing something because you know you need that mental stimulation. It's just something to look out for. And that's why I love astrology, because it kind of helps bring out like those little quirks about yourself that you know maybe you don't notice. But and you know that was certainly something that I learned about myself because of astrology, and how sometimes I need to have mental stimulation. um but you know, like I said, like I've been working a lot on myself to try not to always just be on the go. And you know, it's just also something like when we find these moments where we're trying to multitask or something, it's almost like an excuse to not sit in silence and boredom. And you know, it's important for us to learn to just sit there and not expect something to happen. Or and sometimes like it can be like a way to distract yourself from things, like if something has happened in your life, or like you're ruminating on a thought or something that happened, like sometimes using busyness or distraction can help you maybe, you know, not have to think about it. But I think like that's where the issue comes in, right? Because when we're more distracted, we can't come to terms with things. And to me, like one of the most powerful spiritual experiences we can have is to just sit there, enjoy the moment, or just be in the moment. Um, because all this distraction sometimes can ultimately lead us astray from like the source of love energy, which, you know, to some may be called God, or just the ultimate source, the universe, however you want to talk about it. And I talk about it like the ultimate source of love energy to me is equal to God. And and being in distraction takes you away from that. And sometimes I think, you know, the way our society is, I think sometimes I wonder, is that done on purpose? And I feel it is, because as long as we're distracted with the phone, as long as, you know, we're not thinking about things, we can't sit and, you know, step into our power as a human being, as, you know, as people connected with each other. So, kind of what made me think about this a little bit more this week was on Sunday watching the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime. And I'm a Bad Bunny fan, so I really enjoyed it. And I just thought he had a wonderful, beautiful display of his culture and the love. I just loved his expression that he had at the end of the performance, which is the only thing that can, I'm kind of butchering it now, but I think it said the only thing more powerful than hate is love. And that's exactly how I believe. And you could just see his love that he has for Puerto Rico and his people, his culture. And, you know, I kind of love digging into more of his story after the Super Bowl halftime. And as a lot of other people did, because there was a lot of little videos about it and everything. And he's just, I find him interesting, and I think he's really cool, and he just has a wonderful message. And so I kind of dug into his song, and his song, Debí tirar más fotos. And I just, I just thought it was a lovely, well, I like the song anyways, but I didn't realize that it had a little movie with it. Not until I was looking it up, and somebody had mentioned, oh, and there's also a little movie that he produced. I can't share the sound for copyright reasons, but um, here's just a little bit of it showing the elderly man saying that he wished he would have taken uh, more photos because um, his memory was fading and uh, he couldn't remember like his memories of his life, and he was telling his little frog friend Concho, which I thought was really cute. But anyway, so it was just making him sad that he didn't take more photographs during his lifetime to remember all the beautiful times he had in his life. And just thinking about that, just that story, like I think Bad Bunny, and I'm so glad that people got to see him and see like what a great artist he is, and just the expression of pure artistry and love that he has. And it just really made me think about how life passes us by so quickly, and it's kind of sad when we're distracted a lot. And you know it just sorry just like the distraction that sometimes I feel is done on purpose, and in the end sometimes we regret things in life about how we should have taken more photos, we should have enjoyed the moment more. um so that's kind of all I was really wanting to come on here and talk to you about for just a minute, and just to let you hopefully give you a reminder that the next time you feel like you want to be busy and you want to wear that busyness badge of honor, to just take a second before you get up and go do something, and just sit there and enjoy the moment. Just take deep breaths and just really just be. And I hope that you will notice when you do that, life starts becoming a lot more richer and more beautiful and more loving. So that's all I really wanted to share with you guys today. And if you like my content, please like, subscribe, share, and I hope to see you guys sometime soon. All right. Mwah. Bye.